I was not always this strong guy you see. I went through a lot of hard times in my life to get here today. All I wanted to be was an uncommon man. In my whole life, I was not that. Much worse than that. So I came home one day from working at a job called Ecolab where I sprayed for cockroaches. Made $1,000 a month, weighing 300 pounds. And I got home and I watched a show on Discovery Channel of guys carrying boats and logs, Navy SEAL training. And I decided to make a change in my life. And I called the recruiter up and he asked me these questions. He had to meet a certain age, like a certain height and weight limit. I was 6'1" and 300 pounds. He laughed at me. 7 other recruiters laughed at me. One recruiter finally said, "Come on in, I'm too busy to talk to you on the phone." He didn't know how much I weighed. I walked in the recruiter's office and he looked at me and he said, "You're fat and you're black." I said I want to be a Navy SEAL. I didn't know there'd only been 35 African-American Navy SEALs at that time in over 70 years. He said I basically had to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 months because of my age. I was getting too old. I came back 3 months later, 106 pounds lighter.
That's you, buddy. Come on, 23. Come on, 24. One more, David. Bruce, one more to carry the boats. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. You did it. Yeah.
I would like to know when you're in that moment failing and you have to keep going, what do you say to yourself?
What if? A lot of times I'll be in a 200-mile run or something like that, and I'm all jacked up. Body's broken, mind's broken, spirit's broken. I started to say, what if I can pull this off? When I first walked into the Navy SEAL recruiter's office, he looked at me and said, there's only been 35 African Americans in 70 years make it through. You know what I said to myself? What if I can be the 36th? It's the what if I can pull off a fucking miracle. What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be?
But you can guarantee one fucking thing. David Goggins got the fuck after it. He got the fuck after it.
I started doing this triathlon and endurance sports, ultra runs, just to test my soul, to see what I'm about, to find out limits to myself, limits to the human soul. And every day I'm trying to see if I have limits. I run anywhere from 125, 150 in a week. So I'll try and put in about 450 miles a month. Usually every day I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I run anywhere from 10 to 15 miles in the morning. And then I live about 25 miles from work. So I get my bicycle, commute into work, do a normal work day. At lunchtime around noon, I'll run again, anywhere from 5 to 8 miles, whatever it may be. Come back, work, and around 5:30, I'll ride back home 25 miles on my bike. If I'm feeling good and I'm gonna get more miles, I'll get off the bike and do like a short 3 or 4 or 5 mile run. That's my everyday life. So I don't just train like an hour or so. I train until something is uncomfortable and then that's when you know who you are. My life doesn't have a finish line. So when I cross the finish line of the Ironman, it doesn't matter because I know that, 2 or 3 weeks from now I'll be doing something else to put my body through more pain. I believe, everything I try to do is kind of defined by excellence, but I don't think I ever reach excellence myself because my standards of my life are really high. So I don't think I ever reach it, but I try to every day.
down here, you see it's about 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's not a car or a person in sight. If you pan over here, it's the same thing. Not a car or a person in sight. People want to know where I find my strength at, where I get my strength. I get it from a lot of places, but right now, this morning, I'm getting it from, there's not a motherfucker that's up. There's not a car, there's not a person. Everybody's in their bed, sleep, dreading that it's a Monday, hate it's a Monday, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Where everybody's getting weaker, I'm getting stronger. It's not about the running, the swimming, the push-ups, the sit-ups. It's about what those things do for your mentality. You don't get better on the daggone couch. You get better by coming out here and getting the fuck after it every daggone day. Stay hard.
It was 90s.
What it's all about.
Yeah.
I don't care how good you are in anything. You don't have discipline. You ain't nobody.
Right.
You're nothing without discipline. Because you give up under the slightest struggle without discipline.
100%.
Who fought in these wars. You have no idea how big of a deal this is to me. I was not always this strong guy you see. I went through a lot of hard times in my life to get here today. Suffering before your mind starts saying we need self-talk. So what I tell myself is I go back to the months and years of preparation to get to that day. And I'm telling myself that 3:30 in the morning, and I'm looking at my shoes and I want to go out there and run 30 miles. I have to, in that second, in that moment of this self-talk, my mind saying, you gotta find more, you gotta find more. I once again calm down, go back into my mind, in my cookie jar I call it, and I have to reflect back on the shit I did to get here. And that becomes my self-talk. Self-talk does not work unless it is real. Most of us lie to ourselves in the self-talk. It doesn't work. It has to be real. It has to be something that you've done to make it really work.
Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood.
Every morning, every day of our lives, we have choices to make. You have the choice to stay in bed, to say, forget it, I'm not gonna work out today, or forget it, I'm not gonna work hard today. You always have a choice every single day of your life. A lot of times I'll be in a 200-mile run or something like that, and I'm all jacked up. Body's broken, mind's broken, spirit's broken. I started to say, what if I can pull this off? When I first walked into the Navy SEAL recruiter's office, he looked at me and said, there's only been 35 African Americans in 70 years make it through. You know what I said to myself? What if I can be the 36th? It's the what if I can pull off a fucking miracle. What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be? And just me talking about that, I have the hair going up on my arms because it makes me just like, what if?
There's nothing you're gonna say, there's nothing you're gonna fucking do that's gonna outweigh anything I've already said to myself. That guy sucks, he's ugly, he's fat, he's full of shit. I've already said that, you know? So
The fear is never reaching your potential.
That's it.
That always falling short, always quitting before you're done, always procrastinating, always not doing the right thing. And then one day you're an old man.
Yep.
And you look back and go, God, I could have been great.
Yep.
I could have been great.
I never forget one time I was running by a graveyard when I was fucking just trying to become, I was fat. And I ran by a graveyard and I looked out there and I have all these epiphanies, man. I have all these fucking moments of it's crazy, man, of just thought. Cause I'm always by myself and always in deep fucking thought about how to be better. And I look out there, I'm like, man, I wonder how many of you motherfuckers in there fucking just are so upset with how you lived your life and fucking just regret how you lived it. And I'm running at 300-pound man thinking, man, don't fucking die like this, bro. Don't die like this. So people wonder where this shit comes from me. It comes from such deep thought of trying to see what this is all about. What is this life all about? What am I all about? Why am I here? You know, I had to find purpose. And my suffering, it had a purpose. It had a fucking purpose.
There's also a section of men who just feel alone, like myself, who felt like they have to hold things in and that they shouldn't share their emotions, that they don't lean on people, and that they should just carry stuff in and they need to be X, Y, and Z to be like good enough. So there's this like balance of that. And you almost need to learn to, again, like I mentioned, like that, the masculine and the feminine, being able to integrate that. I feel like a real man is confident and comfortable enough to embrace the feminine energy he has in him. If he's emotional, let it out, but also have that masculine side of it. Be like, I'm going to be emotional right now, but I'm still going to go and fuck shit up right now, you know? I'm still going to take charge of what I want with my life. I'm going to work fucking hard and be disciplined, but I'm going to accept that sometimes I'm going to break down. And it's going to be, I'm not saying that women break down, but there's more emotion over there, and allow it to feel it and to ask for help and to lean on people and be able to balance those two and that like yin and yang. I think that's what's missing personally.
Right? Like you can be going as fast as possible in the wrong direction, and it actually takes you further away from the destination. This is something that a lot of people, I call it the menopause, which is mid-20s toward late 20s. A lot of guys, it seems like you had yours earlier, realize that a lot of the values that they hold, a lot of the things that previously they took a sense of self-worth from, that the world told them that they should value, they don't make them feel fulfilled anymore. And they go, oh fuck, like I got toward the top of this mountain and I realized that it was the wrong mountain that I climbed, and actually I was supposed to be on that one over there. And it's difficult because in order to get to that one, you need to go back down this one that you've already climbed. You need to dispense with the stuff that you've got rid of.
This is why I think introversion is such a cheat code, because like I feel like
you're less at the mercy of other people's desires.
Because even like for me, I noticed that if the more frequently and the more for a sustained period of time I'm involved in certain just patterns of behavior, oftentimes socially or just what I do in general, you just become locked in those patterns and it becomes more difficult. You have more of like a narrow perspective. So, you know, the brain's malleable, it just gets programmed in that way and you're just kind of operating that way. So for me, a lot of like the best insights that I've gotten are like times when I like completely just like fully detached and just enter this weird like meditative just like flow state of just being just so just alone.
What I've learned is that most of the sabotage in your life is self-induced. Hear me out. Okay, most of the sabotage that is self-induced in life is because you do not have the self-regulation to do that which you know you need to do. So you need to be able to ask yourself, right? You know you need to go to the gym. You know you need to start this business. You know you need to read this book, but you don't do it. Why? Why don't you do it? Not, oh, I didn't do it today. No, why didn't you do it? Why did you cave to the nonsensical bullshit in the perspective that you're above the grind, you're above the work, you're above the consistency? Because these are the things that are holding you back. We understand that consistency compounds. I've said this once and I'll say it again. But why is it that you know what to do, but you don't do it? Don't just say, oh, because I'm lazy. No, that's not good enough. Wait, no, it's not that you're lazy. Something else is wrong. You need to be able to identify these things. And once you identify these things, you're able to tackle them effectively.
It's because I fought for it. It's because no one gave it to me. Because it was just me alone in the gym, me alone in the mirror, me alone in my head. No one did it for me. I worked for it, and I'm never going to let someone else take that from me. It's because...
Like, what bothers you about yourself?
I just wish I just felt more comfortable in my own skin a lot of times, you know, because I feel like I would be able to be more effective as a person if I could just like kind of not toil in some of my own, you know, small self-worth issues or like lack of confidence at times. You know, I wish I could trust my instincts, and I wish my instincts were like better calibrated so that I knew when if I was doing like okay and good stuff, then my insides like told me you're being okay, you don't have to worry, you know.
My shins hurt so bad from having stress fractures that the only way I could continue on was I taped it, so I wasn't doing the flexor motion that activates your shins. So I taped my ankles and my shins up, and I got that from because in my third hell week they weren't going to go back to training anymore. Right. So I literally went through all of BUD/S, my last SEAL training with stress fractures and shin splints. And how I did it was I would tape my ankles all the way up to my calf every morning. So for the first hour, the pain was excruciating. But what happened is my feet were going numb. And I did that every single day for 6 months. Whoa! And that's how I got through my third hell week. And I was so broken from the first two that the commander said, hey, the CEO said this is your last time we see you through. So my life This last 30 miles of this race is when I realized a human being is not so human anymore. We have the ability to go in such a space if you're willing to suffer, and I mean suffer. Your brain and your body, once connected together, can do anything. And this 30 miles was the life-changing moment. I was out of it. I was in the worst pain of my entire life. I was, to me, on the brink of death. And I was able to chunk this 30 damn miles into small pieces. I was so driven. And I'm not going to say motivated, because motivation's crap. Motivation comes and goes. When you're driven, whatever's in front of you will get destroyed. So I sat in this chair and I was so driven to succeed in this race. And at this time, everyone goes, "What are you thinking about the guys that died?" And I'm not going to lie to you, I wasn't. This became a personal thing. This became me against this race, me against the kids that called me nigga, me against me. With the right, and people may listen to this and say, this guy is sadistic, he's crazy. No, if you know how I came up, you realize I was a scared kid that found drive and passion to be something much better than what he thought he was. That's all it If you want to be great, you want to be the baddest motherfucker ever at what you do, you're going to be misunderstood by everybody, because you're going to be so fucking obsessed and so driven to get there. That's what it takes. That's true. It takes every second of your fucking life. Anybody says balance? Yeah, balance is important for a lot of fucking people. It is. So if you want to fucking go to that edge where people do not like you, don't understand you, question everything you fucking do, you've arrived. When you are misunderstood to the point where fucking people think you're psycho and you're nuts and you're this and that, why are you in the fucking gym at 1 o'clock in the fucking morning? You got to doing an op for fucking 13, 14 hours after Ranger School, man, at the gym. What's wrong? You will never understand what is wrong with me. And that's why I'm so fucking glad you don't. Because I'm in the right fucking spot. When people don't understand you anymore, you're in that spot of obsession and drive.
Here. There you go. Nobody works like David in this house. 13. Come on. 14. Come on. 15. Shut that muscle down. 16. Come on. Get it. 17.
They don't know me, son.
Get it. 18.
They don't know me, son.
Get it. 19.
They don't know me, son.
Yeah. 20. You got some more in you.
Who's gonna carry the boats and the logs?
Who's one more to carry the boats? You did it! Yeah!
Who's gonna carry the fucking boats? I'm very aware how quick life can take shit from you, and I've always prepared my mind for the next chapter. And I realized, man, you can achieve a lot of shit if you get off your ass and you start moving and you start motivating yourself. Start becoming a self-motivator. So I started front-loading. And front-loading is people, man, you've done so much by 47, because I don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring you. I've given everything. People make, oh, you ran on fucked up knees, you taped your feet up, you did blah, blah, you had 2 heart surgeries, you kept on going. Yep, sure did. I had somewhere to fucking go. I had somewhere to fucking go, and I got there. And buddy, when motherfuckers tell you you can take a break now, hey, you're fucked up. As long as my knees are halfway working, I got to run. You telling me, man, maybe a chance I can't run no more? Give me an excuse to fucking not do shit, but as long as I have no excuse, I gotta do it. But I was happy where I was. I gave everything. I gave everything to who I am. And that's why people, I don't believe that. Don't believe it. I gave everything. And when you give everything, man, you have no regret. People didn't understand me. People don't understand me now. I don't give a fuck. I know exactly what I was doing. I'm not a masochist. I'm not crazy. I'm not this and that. People try to title me and label me. No. I had something to fucking do.